All right, here we are, problem 7. And this is a great walkthrough, but please make sure you're able to do these type of problems um, in isolation on their own when you be fully ready for the test. So um, please go to the book and get some more problems like this so that you can really get fully comfortable with them. Now with word problems, I really think that there's probably nothing better than making sure you draw a picture as we go along. So it says here a farmer wants to make a rectangular enclosure using a barn wall as one side. And actually I'm just going to stop right there for a second. So here's our barn wall. Okay, and now uh, that's one of the sides of the rectangular enclosure. Now a rectangle got the opposite sides are congruent and equal in length and all that. And so here's kind of generally what we're going to be doing. I know that the fencing altogether, I have 140 meters of it. And so all this blue here, that length, it's not quite the perimeter since the one wall over here isn't included. But we're essentially making a perimeter of 140. And again, without that barn wall there. So the area, let's go through and figure this out. If I've got 140 meters of fencing, let's call this side X. I don't know how long it is, but as soon as I know that is X, I know the other side is X also, because again, it's a rectangle. Now, however much I use for X, I have 140 total, so this side over here is going to be 140 minus, well, how much is used? There's two X's, so 2 times X. Now, A says to express the area of the function of the area, A of X, in terms of X. And so how do you find area? Well, to find area of something, you multiply the width times the height, base times length, however you want to call that. But these two numbers getting multiplied together. And so we have A of X, the area, is equal to X, the base, times 140 minus 2X. And if you rearrange that to negative 2X plus 140, that's perfectly okay. But we've got the length times the height, the base times the width. And I'm just going to actually leave it as that. There's A. It's been expressed A of X has been expressed in terms of X. Next, B. It says find the value that gives the greatest area. And so I'm looking at this, and this is going to be you could multiply it out. This would end up giving us that A of X is equal to negative 2X squared plus 140X. But hopefully just looking back at this part right here, you're able to see that this is going to be a parabola. And specifically this time when we get our X values all together, our leading coefficient is going to be negative 2. So this one's opening downward. I'm going to draw a quick sketch of what this parabola might look like, and I'm going to use the roots to do that. And what root does this give you? Well, it's 0. And over here, this is going to set it equal to 0, and you can see that X will be 70. So let's go and put those roots on our little sketch here. So there's 0, 0. And down over here somewhere is 70, 0. And again, this is a parabola. I know that's because it's a second degree polynomial here. Now, you could, one way to do it would be to be negative b over 2a. But I would like to just even think about this. Let's pretend we never had multiplied it all the way out. Think through where your maximum would be. So we've got our x value. This here, again, our x-axis. Don't know if I ever explicitly said this, but our x-axis is this x here in the problem. It's the width of our rectangle. Our y-axis is the area. It's how much area we have depending on x. And so our maximum area is at the vertex. And now what's the x value right there? Well, think through that. What's that? That's the axis of symmetry. And it's going to be equidistant between these 2 points. And so what's the average of 0 and 70? Well, that's going to be 35. So the value of x that gives the greatest area, that's 35. If you had done negative b over 2a, you'd also find that that's going to give you 35 there as well. Lastly, find the maximum area possible. And now we just take this x value and plug it in. So I'm going to cheat a little bit here. just for the sake of time. You would need to work this out on your test. But 35 times, well, 140 minus 70, that's going to be 70. So 35 times 70 gives us 2,450. So the maximum area is 2,450, what were the units? Meters squared. All right. Hope that helped.